Okay, so again, so let's continue with our diseases with the hematologic system. So the next disease that we'll be discussing is what we called Buerger's disease or thromboadjutitis obliterans. So ano nga ba yung meron dyan sa Buerger's disease? Sabi, Buerger's disease is a recurring inflammation of the intermediate and small arteries and veins of the lower and upper extremities. So, sabihin yun daw yung nag-i-inflame. Yung mga veins and arteries or yung mga vessels natin sa lower and upper extremities. So, it results in thrombus formation and segmental occlusion of the vessels and is differentiated from other vessels. This is by its microscopic appearance. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga maliliit na ugat dyan sa mga lower and upper extremities natin, nagkakaroon daw ng thrombus formation or nagkakaroon ng bara. Diba? So, yun yung nangyayari sa kanya. So, Buerger's disease occurs most often in men between 20 and 35 years of age and has been reported in all races and in many areas of the world. So, ibig sabihin, madami ang affected dito. So, it's considered, this is considerable evidence that heavy smoking or chewing of tobacco is a causative or an aggravating factor. So, ibig sabihin, nakukuha daw yan because of smoking. Diba? Kasi nga yung mga small vessels na yan is na-occlude. So, ito po yung nangyayari. Diba? Yung small vessels, so usually, yun yung mga makikita natin sa peripherals or periphery natin. So, which is your hands. So, ang nangyayari, yung vessels that supplies, for example, yung daliri ng pasyente, diba? Yung vessels na nagsusupply dyan ng blood is nagkakaroon ng obstruction. So, for this one, ito yung nagiging obstruction niya. That's why ngayon, yung dulo ng daliri, yung part where dapat dun papunta yung blood, is, na ano daw, namamatay yung tissue because of the obstruction. So, ganun po yung nangyayari sa Buerger's disease natin. So, what are the clinical manifestations? Sabi natin, there is pain is the most outstanding symptoms, generally bilateral and symmetric with focal lesion. So, ibig sabihin, sabay, dalawa, kaya sinabi bilateral, and pantay. Okay? Patient complains of cramps in the feet, particular in the arcs, after exercise, or in-step claudication. Ibig sabihin, kapag nag-exercise siya, yung arc nung kanyang heel, dun sumasakit. And yung pain is nawawala kapag ni-rest niya yung mismo part na yon. So, burning pain aggravated by emotional disturbance, di ba? Kapag increase yung emotional response ng pasyente, lalo nagkakaroon daw ng burning pain. Okay, sabi din, nicotine, di ba? Chilling, digital rest pain, so sa mga fingers and sa mga toes ni patient. Di ba? And a feeling of coldness or sensitivity to cold may be the early symptom. Kasi nga, di ba, nag-occlude, so ngayon parang lumalamig, di ba, kasi kulang yung supply ng blood dyan. So, color changes, nagkakaroon daw ng rubor on the feet progresses to cyanosis. So, di ba, yung una, redness muna, di ba, rubor means red, di ba? So, mamumula siya, and habang nagpo-progress siya, nagkakaroon ng cyanosis, nagkakaroon ng bluish discoloration. In only one extremity or certain digits, yun yung pwede sa kanya. Pwedeng yung buong paa or yung daliri lang. That appears when extremity is in dependent position. So, ito po siya. Pag naka-dependent position yung patient, di ba, ayan, mamumula. And then, kapag nag-elevate, di ba, kakaroon ng pallor or mamumutla yung paa ni patient. So, ganyan po yung nagiging itsura niya. So, ibig sabihin, this one, ito, nasa part nito yan yung occlusion. So, kaya ngayon, nagkakaroon niya ng redness. Okay? Clinical manifestations, ano pa? Sabi na, various type of paresthesia may develop. Nagkakaroon ng numbing sensation. Radial and ulnar artery pulses are absent or diminished if upper extremities are involved. So, sa ulnar part, ibig sabihin, or radial part, dun sa part ng hinliliit or hinlalaki, doon nagkakaroon daw ng humihina yung pulse or nawawala yung pulso ni patient dyan. And eventually, nagkakaroon ng ulceration and gangrene dun sa mismong part. Kasi nga, walang blood supply. So, nabubulok or namamatay yung mga tissue dyan sa part na yan. So, kaya nagkakaroon ng gangrene dun sa mismo part. So, what will be our assessment and diagnostics? Sabi, segmental limb blood pressure. Sabihin, titingnan mo, ibibp mo yung pasyente, titingnan ko nagkakaroon ng numbness kapag nagba-blood pressure si patient. Duplex ultrasonography. So, ibig sabihin, check yung mga blood vessels. Or we can do contrast angiography. Sabi, used to identify the occlusion. So, di ba, yung mag-inject ng dye. So, para makita nasaan ba yung mga bara-bara dyan. Okay? So, ano ang management natin pagdating sa Buerger's disease? So, main objective are to improve the circulation to the extremities, prevent the progression of the disease, and protect the extremities from trauma and infection. So, treatment measure includes what? Completely stopping use of tobacco. Kasi nga, di ba siya yung sa nagkukos kung bakit nagkakaroon ng occlusion or pwedeng reason bakit nagkaroon ng occlusion doon sa vessels ni patient. Regional sympathetic block or ganglionectomy procedure, vasodilation, that produces vasodilation and increase yung blood flow. So, gagawin yung procedure na yan para mag-increase yung dilation of the blood vessel para ngayon makakapag-flow yung blood. Which is, mapiprevent natin ngayon na magkaroon ng gangrene dun sa mismong part, which is kung saan siya nag-upload. Okay, conservative debridement of necrotic tissue is used in treatment of ulceration and gangrene. Or tatanggalin, i-debris yung mga part na nagbubulok na o yung nangingitim na yan. Kasi nga, if continuously pabayaan mo siya, lalaki yan. Di ba maghahawa-hawa yung mga healthy cells yan. So, gangrenes of the toe develops usually a below knee amputation or occasionally an above knee amputation is necessary. Diba? Kung halimbawa sa paa, puputulin na yung legs ni patient. Indication for amputation are worsening gangrene if is moist. Ayan, diba? Sobrang sakit na or meron ng severe sepsis. Kasi, ibig sabihin, kalat na yung infection doon. So, to prevent na kumalat pa yung infection, so, ika-cut yung distal part mula dun sa mismong gangrene. Diba? Para mabawasan or ma-prevent natin na kumalat pa yung sepsis. So, vasodilators are rarely prescribed kasi nagkukos lang siya ng cause dilatation of healthy vessels naman ni patient. Diba? So, nadadama yung mga healthy vessels. Okay, may question po with Buerger's disease. Malinaw tayo sa Buerger's disease. Okay. So, next natin is what we call the Raynaud's disease. It is manifested by Raynaud's phenomenon. So, ano naman yung Raynaud's? Sabi, Raynaud's phenomenon is a form of intermittent arteriolar vasoconstriction that results in coldness, pain, and pallor of the fingertips or toes. So, ibig sabihin, sa kanya, nagko-constrict yung vessel. Ibig sabihin, sumisikip bigla yung daanan ng blood. Diba? Doon sa Buerger's, may obstruction, may occlusion. Dito, nagkakaroon ng constriction. Nagkakaroon ng vasoconstriction. Okay? Primary or idiopathic Raynaud's disease occurs in absence of underlying disease. So, pwedeng hindi alam kung ano yung nagkukos sa kanya. While secondary Raynaud's occurs in associated with underlying disease. Ano daw yung mga underlying disease? Kagaya ng mga connective tissue disorder like SLE or the systemic lupus erythematosus, rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, trauma, or even an obstructive arterial lesion. So, ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng damage yung arteries ni patient. Okay, Raynaud's phenomenon is most common in women between 16 and 40 years of age, and it occurs more frequently in cold climates and during winter, dun sa mga malalamig. Bakit? Di ba sabi nga natin, pag malamig, ano nangyari? Nagkakaroon ng vasoconstriction. And it's trigger or titrigger siya para magkaroon lalo ng Raynaud's phenomenon because of the sobrang lamig ng climate. So, manifestation, sabi nga, pallor brought on by sudden vasoconstriction. Di ba? Kasi bigla nag-constrict. Ngayon, nagkakaroon ng pallor, namumutla. And it will followed by hyperemia or exaggerated blood flow due to vasodilatation with result to rubor. So, mamumutla, bigla mamumula, and then, magpo-progress siya yung characteristics niya to white, blue, and red. So, nag-iiba-iba yung kulay niya. So, mapula, mamaputla, namula, tapos, ayan, nagba-violet na. Kasi nga, nag-constrict yung blood vessels ni patient. Ano pa daw? Sabi natin, numbness, tingling sensation, and burning pain occurs as the color changes. So, parang namamanhid, parang may tumutusok kapag nagkakaroon ng changes dun sa extremities or dun sa fingertips ni patient. So, involvement tends to be bilateral and symmetric and may involve toes and fingers. So, pantay ulit siya, pareho. Okay? So, ano yung management natin? Avoid particular stimuli. So, ano nga daw? Yung nag-stimulate niyan. So, cold. Diba? So, sa cold kasi, diba, nagko-constrict. Same goes with tobacco kasi yung tobacco or the nicotine is nagko-cause or nagpo-provoke to have vasoconstriction. Diba? Kaya dapat i-avoid yan para hindi mag-occur yung Raynaud's phenomenon. Okay? Calcium channel blockers like your nifedipine, amlodipine may be effective in relieving the symptoms. Kasi, diba, pinapa-open up, may vasodilating effect naman yung mga yan. Sympathectomy or interrupting the sympathetic nerves by removing the sympathetic ganglia or dividing their branches to help, may help some patients. So, ibig sabihin, yung nagsesend ng signal to constrict, diba? It's either daw i-divide para mabawasan or tinatanggal siya. Okay, so management, nursing management, instruct patient to avoid situations that may be stressful or unsafe. Di ba pag na-stress ka, pag tumataas yung anxiety mo, di ba nagkakaroon ng vasoconstriction din kasi yan. Okay? And lalong magko-constrict yung vessels dyan. Okay? Avoid patient to advise patient to minimize exposure to cold. Di ba? So, bawal yung masyadong malamig. So, as much as possible, sa loob lang ng bahay. Or, wear a protective clothing when outdoors during cold weather. So, yung mga, di ba, uso naman yung mga heat tech, yung mga damit na nagpo-provide ng heat, di ba? Or dapat protektahan yung sarili. So, assure patient that serious complications are not usual. So, unlike with your Buerger's disease, di ba, sa Buerger's disease kasi, di ba, nagkakaroon ng gangrenes or amputation. Dito, very rare na nangyayari lang yun. Kasi nga, nagko-constrict, bumabalik din yung vessels, yung blood supply. So, emphasize the importance of avoiding nicotine, di ba? Yung pagtanggal na ng yosi. So, ayan, i-resist daw. So, maghanap ng support group si patient. Advise patient to handle sharp objects carefully to avoid injuries dun sa fingers. So, para hindi magkaroon ng additional problem si patient. And, inform patient about postural hypotension that may result from medications. Di ba yung nifedipine, iba pag pinainom si patient or si amlodipine, di ba sabi natin kapag nagtitake ng mga ganyan, di ba yung movement or yung changes in position dapat gradual. Di ba? Halimbawa nakahiga, hindi yung biglang tatayo. Kasi nga biglang nagkakaroon ng drop sa BP, so pwedeng mahilo yung pasyente natin. Okay, may question po ba? Malinaw? Naiintindihan? Okay, intindihan. Okay, let's now move with the vein disorders like your venous thrombosis, thrombophlebitis, phlebotrombosis, and deep vein thrombosis. So, ano yung mga, ibig sabihin yung mga ugat, yung mga veins ni patient is affected. It's either pag itis, inflamed, bosis, ibig sabihin may occlusion, may nagbabara. Okay, what are the causes? Sabi, the exact cause of venous thrombosis remains unclear, although there are 3 factors, or what we call the virtuous triad, are believed to play a significant role in the development of mga thrombosis na yan and phlebitis na yan. Ano yung triad na yan? Stasis of the blood, o venous stasis, sabihin nagiging stagnant yung blood dun sa lower extremities. Okay, it's either nagkakaroon ng vessel wall injury si patient or altered blood coagulation. Ibig sabihin, there's a problem with coagulation of the patient natin. So, thrombophlebitis, sabi ko nga, it's the inflammation of the walls of the vein, often accompanied by formation of clot. When a clot develop, initially, it is initially in the veins as a result of stasis or hypercoagulability. But without inflammation, the process is referred to phleботhrombosis. So, pag sinabing nag-clot lang, thrombosis, kapag inflame, phlebitis. Malinaw po with regards to the terminologies that we are using. Okay? So, ito po yung itsura ng patient. Yan. So, ito, yan, mga pula-pula na yan. Ito. Yan. Ito mamaya iba naman to yung mga malalaking ugat na yan. That's varicosities or varicose veins. Okay, so venous thrombosis can occur in any vein but is most frequently veins of the lower extremities. So, kadalasan sa lower extremities siya kaysa sa upper. So, both superficial and deep veins of the legs may be affected. So, what happened in venous thrombosis? So, ito po ay, ayan. So, di ba, leg vein. Anong nangyari? Ito yung valve sumisikip, nagkakaroon ng blood clot or thrombus formation. Nagkakaroon ng bara. Okay, damage of the lining of blood vessels creates a site for clot formation. So, magkaroon may sira dyan. Mayroong scratch, di ba? So, ngayon, nagkakaroon din, nag-i-increase yung blood coagulation. Di ba? So, patient will abruptly stop taking anticoagulant medication and also, of course, with oral contraceptive use and several blood dyscrasias. Ibig sabihin, ayan, kaya dapat sinasabi yan, in order yan, sinecheck ng doktor kung kailangan bang i-stop or i-continue. Diba? Yung mga nag-oral contraceptive, sabi nga dapat diba nagpapa-check and mga other problems with the blood of the patient. Sabi natin, the danger associated with venous thrombosis is that parts of a clot can become detached and produce an embolic occlusion of the pulmonary vessels. So, ibig sabihin, yun yung problema natin. Yung mga clot na yan na nabuo dun sa lower extremities, pwedeng matanggal. And once yan natanggal, nagkakaroon ng embolic occlusion. Ibig sabihin, kakalat siya sa circulation and it can occlude yung pulmonary vessels. So, kung na-occlude yung pulmonary vessels, ano ngayon magiging mangyayari kay patient? Magkakaroon ng pulmonary embolism yung patient natin. Ha? So, what are the risk factors? Sabi natin, history of varicose veins. Yan, lumalaki yung mga ugat ni patient. Hypercoagulation. Sabi, nagkaklat-klat yung mga dugo ni patient. Neoplastic diseases, cardiovascular diseases, or recent major surgery or injury. Diba, lalo kapag ortho case. Obesity, advanced age, so closely approaching retirement, yung mga pa 50 pa 60s na. Yan, those who are using oral contraceptives, pwede po din yan. So, clinical manifestation, signs and symptoms are not specific. So, hindi siya totally yan. But, sabi natin, edema and swelling of the extremities resulting from obstruction of the vein of the leg, pwedeng mangyari yan kay patient. Pwedeng magmanas, mamaga. Okay? And bilateral swelling may be difficult to detect or lack of difference. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya masyado nakikita. Minsan, isang part lang or isang right or left extremities lang ni patient. So, skin over the affected leg may become warmer. Superficial veins may become more prominent. Ibig sabihin, marang mainit, tas kitang-kina o venous, cord-like venous segment. So, ibig sabihin, kitang-kita yung ugat dyan sa lower extremities ni patient. So, tenderness occurs later and is detected by gently palpating the legs. So, pag pinapalpate mo yan, parang naninigas yung na patient na yan. Lumalambot-lambot yung part na yan. So, Homan signs, sabi, pain in the calf after sharp dorsiflexion. Ano yung dorsiflexion? Di ba yung biglang ginanon yung paa ni patient? Ipe-flex. Kumbaga, papunta sa'yo. Pag nakatayo ka, tinignan mo yung paa mo, yung ipe-flex papunta sa'yo yung daliri mo sa paa. But sabi, it's not specific for deep vein thrombosis because it can elicit any painful conditions in sa calc naman ni patient. Pero pwede siya, yung Hohmann's signs. So in some cases, signs of pulmonary embolus at the first indication of DVT. Kasi nga, di ba, pwedeng na-dislodge na punta dun sa lungs ni patient kaya nagkaroon ng pulmonary embolism. Okay, thrombus of superficial veins produces pain or tenderness dun sa area, redness, warm in the involved area, so parang mainit-init yung part na merong infection, yung affected part ng patient natin. Okay? In massive iliofemoral venous thrombosis or phlemalgia cerulodolens, the extremities, ibig sabihin doon sa femoral area ni patient, massively swollen, maga-maga, tense, painful, and cool to touch yung part ng legs ni patient na yan. So, ang itsura niyan, eto, yung itsura ng pasyente. So, ayan o, maga yung extremities ni patient. Yan, pinaka kung malamig po yan. Okay? So, what will be the assessment and diagnostic methods natin pagdating dyan sa mga yan? Sa mga vein disorder. So, history, revealing risk factors such as varicose veins or neoplastic disease. Okay, so we can do Doppler ultrasonography, duplex ultrasonography, air plethysmography, contrast flowgraphy. So, ibig sabihin, venography. So, ibig sabihin, i-check yung circulation on the lower extremities of the patient. Diba? So, yun yung ginagawa dun sa mga test na yan. Okay, so how will we prevent yung mga vein disorders na yan? Number 1, prevention is dependent on the identifying risk factors for thrombus and educating the patient about appropriate interventions. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung risk, ano yung nakita nating risk kay patient. Diba? Kaya dapat identify natin. So, management, sabi natin, objective of management are to prevent venous from growing and fragmenting. So, resolve the current thrombus and prevent the recurrence. So, ayaw natin dumami, ma-dislodge. So, ibig sabihin, pipigilan natin yan. So, paano? Sabi natin, pharmacologic therapy, sabi, unfractionated heparin is administered for 5 days by intermittent or continuous intravenous infusion. So, ibig sabihin, bibigyan ng heparin si patient. So, ano ba kasi yung heparin? Diba? Heparin are your anti-coagulant. So, ibig sabihin, kaya bibigyan ng heparin para matanggal or mawala yung mga clot na yan. Okay? Dosage is regulated by monitoring the activated partial thromboplasmin time or APTT, INR or the international normalized ratio in the platelet of the patient. Kasi nga 'di ba, ano yung pwedeng mangyari if naka-heparin si patient? Patient could bleed. Kaya po monitor natin yung APTT ni patient. Okay? Next, low molecular weight heparin is given 1 or 2 injections daily if more expensive than unfractional. So, ito naman yung mga ini-inject. So, it's given subcutaneous. Okay? So, ano yung tatandaan? Pag nagbigay ng low molecular weight heparin, like yung mga Clexane, Arixtra, Fixivan, so yan po yung mga sample ng low molecular. So, it's given subcu, do not massage. Kasi magkakaroon ng hematoma dun sa site. Kaya, yun yung mga tatandaan. Pero mas mahal kasi ito compare sa IV. Kaso nga lang, mas risky yung heparin compare sa low molecular weight heparin natin. Okay? So, pwede rin po ng oral anticoagulants which is given to the patient after na given with heparin therapy. Ano nga yung warfarin? Coumadin, this is oral na binibigay. Okay? So, yun po yung nagkaiba nila. Kapag oral, warfarin. Kapag heparin, IV or IM. So, ito po, Fundafarinux given subcutaneously for prophylaxis during major orthopedic surgery. So, Fundafarinux, this is a sample ng low molecular weight heparin natin. Si Fundafarinux. Okay, thrombolytics or fibrolytic therapy. Example, Altiplase. So, it's given within the first 3 days after acute thrombosis. So, para matunaw yung mga, or matanggal yung mga bara-bara. Diba? Yung thrombus, diba? Kaya nga thrombo, diba? Thrombus is the clot. So, tatanggalin niya yung clot. Kasi anticoagulant, may prevent niya na mag-clot. Okay? Throughout therapy, PTT, prothrombin time, hemoglobin and hematocrit level and platelet counts, and fibrinogen levels are monitored frequently. So, i-check yan. Kasi nga, sabi natin, the patient could bleed because of those medication. That's why, kapag nagkaroon ng bleeding si patient, inire-report agad, and ini-stop agad yung medications na yan. Kasi nga, mawala nga ibara, magbi-bleed naman yung patient natin. So, kaya importante na mo-monitor if there is any signs of bleeding kay patient. Okay, endovascular management naman, sabi, endovascular management is necessary for DVT when anticoagulants or thrombolytic therapy is contraindicated. The danger of pulmonary embolism extreme or venous drainage is so severely compromised that permanent damage of the extremities is likely. So, ibig sabihin, ano yung gagawin? Diba? Kung hindi pwedeng mag-anticoagulant or mag-thrombolytic si patient. So, we can do your thrombectomy. Diba? Tatanggalin. Okay? A vena cava filter may be placed at the time of thrombectomy. So, pagkatanggal ng thrombus, dun sa vena cava ni patient, maglalagay daw ng filter. So, eto po yan. So, eto siya, atas ng thrombectomy, so nilagyan ng parang filter. So, sasalain niya ngayon. So, ano gagawin niya? Sasalain niya yung mga clots na dadaan dyan para ma-prevent na makapunta dito sa heart, makapunta sa circulation ni patient. So, ganun po yung ginagawa no intravenous, intravena cava filter na yan. Okay, malinaw po ba? Now, okay. So, nursing management and assessing and monitoring anticoagulant therapy. So, sabi nga natin, to prevent inadvertent infusion of large volumes of unfractionated heparin, which could cause hemorrhage, administer a fractional heparin by continuous IV infusion using your electric infusion device. Kasi nga, baka mamaya mapass drip yung heparin o magbi-bleed yung pasyente. Kaya dapat naka-infusion set tayo. Diba? So, igagamit ng infusion. So, dosage regulation are based on patient's weight and any possible bleeding tendencies are detected by the pre-treatment clotting profile. If renal insufficiency exists, low-dose heparins are required. So, eto, kino-calculate siya ng doktor. So, nalala ko meron kami naging patient na ganito before. So, naka-heparin drip. So, every hour, kinukuha na siya ng PT, PTT, INR. Tapos, isisend namin kay doktor. And then, based on sa computation ni doctor, it's either i-increase niya or i-decrease niya yung dose ng heparin. Ibig sabihin, kapag nagka-clot pa si patient, increase. Kapag pa-bleed si patient, i-decrease. Kaya toxic po yun. Imagine mo, every hour ginigising namin yung doctor pag gabi. Okay? Nursing management, ano pa daw? Obtain periodic coagulation tests and hematocrit levels. Yun nga, yung heparin is in the effective or therapeutic range if yung PTT natin is nasa 1.5 lang yung control. So, hindi pwedeng sobrang taas. Sabi natin, monitor oral anticoagulants such as warfarin by PT or INR because the full anticoagulant effects of the warfarin delay is 3 to 5 days. Kaya yung prothrombin tsaka international normalized ratio yung ginagamit. It's usually administered concurrently with the heparin until the desired anticoagulation has been achieved. So, pag yung PTT natin, ayan, 1 to 1.5 times the normal na. Which is, the normal daw is Yan, 2 to 3 na yung INR ni patient. Okay, ano pa daw? Monitoring and managing complication, assess for early spontaneous bleeding. Kung merong sign na nagbi-bleed si patient, ano ba yung mga sign na nagbi-bleed yung patient? Kung merong bruises, nosebleed, or sa gum ni patient nagbi-bleed. So, administer IV injections of protamine sulfate to reverse yung effect ng heparin. So, kasi si protamine sulfate, siya po yung antidote for your heparins. Diba? So, administer vitamin K naman, or infused fresh frozen plasma or prothrombin concentrate to reverse yung effect naman ng warfarin. Okay, ano nga ay better term ng vitamin K? Surefy to me na da yut. Okay, so vitamin K, warfarin. Protamine sulfate, heparin. Malinaw tayo? Okay. So monitor for heparin-induced thrombocytopenia by regular monitoring yung platelet count. Kasi baka mamaya yung platelet naman is yung nagiging problem natin. So, early signs include decreasing platelet count, the need for increasing dose of heparin to maintain the therapeutic level, and thromboembolic or hemorrhagic complications. Diba kaya sine-check yung skin? Baka nagkakaroon ba necrosis, skin discoloration, purpura, or blistering ba dun sa part? If thrombocytopenia does occur, perform platelet aggregation studies and discontinue yung heparin and rapidly initiate alternate anticoagulant therapy. Kasi baka mamaya, nasisira yung platelet ni patient. Diba? So, ayaw natin naman na yun yung mangyari. So, closely monitor the medication schedule because oral anticoagulants interact with many other medication and herbal and nutritional supplements. So, that's why it's very important when your patient is taking warfarin, check the other medication that patient is taking. Then, check mo yung drug-to-drug interactions niyan, kung ano ba yung magiging effect niyan sa patient or meron bang effect dun sa anticoagulants niya. Okay? Ano pa daw? Provide comfort, elevate affected extremities, and apply warm, moist pack to reduce yung discomfort pag in pain yung patient. Encourage walking once anticoagulation therapy has been initiated. So, better than standing or sitting for long periods. So, ibig sabihin, dapat daw galaw-galaw yung ginagalaw-galaw yung extremities ni patient. Kaya pinaglalakad natin. Kasi nga, di ba, kung nakatayo lang, di ba, stagnant lang yung circulation dyan. Or nakahiga lang yung pasyente or nakaupo. Okay, recommend bed exercise such as dorsiflexion of the foot against the footboard. So, maglalagay ng footboard sa'yo, sisipa-sipain or ididiin-diin ng konti dun yung paa ni patient para mag-exercise. So, provide additional pain relief with mild analgesics agent if prescribed by the doctor. Initiate compression therapy as prescribed to help improve yung circulation and increase yung comfort. And ano daw, graduated compression stockings, external compression device or warm, sabi mo, ano yung pwedeng ibigay ni patient. So, we have your short stretch elastic wraps, una boot, or citric aid. So, intermittent pneumatic compression devices. Ibig sabihin yung para na exercise yung legs ni patient. So, it will promote yung venous circulation. So, instruct patient on the purpose and importance of medication. So, correct dose and specific times and need for schedule for blood test to regulate yung medication. So, ipaliwanag natin mabuti. Kasi baka mamaya, ininom lang niya ng ininom, hindi naman nagpa-follow up, ayun pala, nagbi-bleed na yung patient natin. Okay, malinaw po ba with regards to our vein disorders? May question po ba? Clarification? All good? All good. Sige. So, let's now move with the varicosities o varicosities. Sabi natin, ano daw yung meron dyan? Varicosities are twisted, irregular veins near the surface of the skin. So, they are most commonly in the legs and ankles, and they usually aren't serious but they can sometimes lead to another problem. Di ba sabi nga natin, yung varicosities, pwede siya at risk na magkaroon ng thrombophlebitis o thrombosis yung pasyente because of this varicose veins. So, in normal veins, bulbs in the vein keep blood moving forward towards the heart. With varicose veins, the bulbs do not function properly, allowing blood to stay in the vein. So, ibig sabihin na i-stuck yung blood dyan sa may mga varicosities. So, blood that pulls cause the vein to swell. Kaya lumalaki yung ugat. Kaya kitang-kita yung ugat ni patient. So, this process usually occurs in the veins of the legs, although it may occur in other parts of the body. But pinaka-common talaga sa lower extremities nakikita yan. Okay, varicose veins are common but they usually affected yung mga babae. So, what are the causes? Defective bulbs from defect or congenitive defective bulbs of the patient. Pregnancy. Yan, sabi na thrombophlebitis. Okay? Ano pa daw? Standing for a long time and having increased pressure in the abdomen may lead to varicose veins or may make the condition worse. So, varicose veins looks dark, blue, swollen, and twisted under the skin. Some people do not have any symptoms. Okay, so, kaya po dito, yung mga nag-stand, so, di ba, sino ba yung mga may trabaho na lagi nakatayo? Diba, yung mga sales lady? Diba, kaya ina-advise yan after ng, maghapon mo tayo, kahit kayo, pag naging nurse na kayo, nag-RN na, di ba, sa duty, ay hindi, upo-upo pa lang pala kayo sa duty, no? Diba, pag kayo na yung naging staff, pag toxic, good luck kung ma-experience yung makaupo. Diba? So, kaya ina-advise yan. Pagkatapos, nag-e-elevate ka ng legs sa gabi para magkaroon ng venous return. So, ano yung tsura ng mga merong varicosis? Ito po, ayun o. Ito yung mga ugat-ugat na yan. Ito sa kanya, ayun o, galit na galit yung mga, ayun, may isaw sa legs yung patient. Kita po? Yan. Diba? Galit na galit yung mga ugat. So, twisted na. So, sabihin, meron yung venous stasis dyan. Okay? So, mild symptoms may include heaviness, burning, aching, tenderness, or pain in your legs. Symptoms may be worse after you stand or sit for a long period of time. Kasi nga, di ba, yung blood circulation is impeded, di ba? Decrease siya. So, kaya, mas, yan, nararamdaman siya. So, swelling in your feet or ankles, pwede yan. Itching over the veins. So, parang kumakati yung mga veins na yan. So, more serious symptoms include leg swelling and calf pain after you sit or stand pag sobrang tagal na. Okay? Skin changes as color changes, nagda-dry, numinipis yung balat, di ba? Inflame or nagkakaroon parang kalikaliskis, di ba? Nagbabalat yung patient. So, open sores or you may bleed after a minor injury. Di ba? Lalo kung natamaan yung mga veins na yan. Okay, so home treatment, sabi natin, may be all you need to ease your symptoms and keep the varicose veins from getting worse. So, ano yung pwede mong gawin? Wear compression stockings, pop out. So, sabihin yung stockings na masikip. Okay? Prop up your legs or elevate your legs. Diba? Sabi ko kanina, pagkatapos mo ng maghapon, ano ba nakatayo? So, siguro mga 5 to 10 minutes, elevate mo lang yung legs mo para magkaroon ng venous return. Diba? Para ma-provide yung, ma-avoid natin yan. And as much as possible, kung kaya naman, avoid yung long period of sitting or standing. Diba? Kaya, halimbawa, yan, nagkaklase tayo online. Diba? 4 hours yung klase natin. Kung kaya, diba? Tayo kang konti. Diba? Stretch mo, dorsiflex mo yung mga legs mo. Diba? Para din magising, para hindi inaantok. Diba? So, avoid yung matagalang pagtayo or pag-po. So, get plenty of exercise. Diba? So, makakatulong yan para magkaroon ng good blood circulation si patient. So, nursing care plan for varicose veins, assessment for varicose veins are, assess the degree and the type of pain, kung ano yung meron siya dyan. The level of activity, okay, movement disorder, diba? Ano yung nagkakos ng mga signs and symptoms, diba? Ano yung pain, ano yung effect dun sa movement ni patient. Diba? Halimbawa, kung nagkaroon ng arthritis, diba? Yung mga ganyan. Assess the quality of the peripheral pulse. Diba? Check din yung pulses ni patient. So, temperature change in the both lower extremities. Diba? Kasi pag nagkakaroon ng temperature change, diba, pwedeng may occlusion, may inflammation, baka yun na yun ang nangyayari. Check the edema and the degree of edema, especially in both lower limbs of the patient. And assess the nutritional status of your patient. Kasama po yan in history of previous disease that is related to, that could affect yung ating veins ni patient. Okay? May question po ba? Wala? Are you sure? Okay, if there's no question, thank you so much for listening. So, that's all for the hematologic disorder. Sabi, nursing is in my blood. Nasa blood nyo na ba? Yes, diba? Konti na lang, magiging RN na. Alright, so wala pong question. Maraming salamat po for listening this session or for